Hello and welcome to Let's Play Kharé, Cityport of Traps by Steve Jackson. This is book number 2 in Steve Jackson's Sorcery series. There are 4 in total. Here's the front cover. The exciting new fantasy adventure in which you become the hero. Okay, let's have a look at the back cover and read the synopsis. Kharé, where every doorway and alley may conceal sudden danger or unexpected help. This second episode in the Sorcery series is a self-contained adventure. As a warrior relying on force of arms or a wizard trained in the spells given in the Sorcery spellbook, you must brave the terror of a city built to trap the unwary. You will need all your wits about you to survive the unimaginable horrors ahead and to make sense of the clues which will lead to your success. At every step, the choice is yours. Okay, this page is more or less the same page from the Shamutanti Hills, so I'm not going to be reading it again. If you do want to listen to me read this for some reason, it's in part 1 of the Shamutanti Hills. Everything is the same apart from the title of the book, obviously. Okay, Steve Jackson Sorcery, Kharé, Cityport of Traps, Penguin Books. Dedicated to John Blanche for bringing a world to life. First published in Penguin Books, I think they mean by. First published by Penguin Books in Great Britain, 1984. Okay, here's the introduction. Kharé, Cityport of Traps, is the second adventure in the Sorcery series following the Shamutanti Hills. But Sorcery has been designed so that each adventure is playable in its own right, whether or not readers have been through the previous ones. If you are new to Sorcery, you may prefer to start your adventure from the very beginning. The first adventure, the Shamutanti Hills, is available with the Sorcery spellbook as a 2-book slipcase set published by Penguin Books. Kharé is, however, a complete adventure within a city. New players will find all the information they need together with an adventure sheet at the beginning of this book. Readers who are now on the second stage of their journey will be able to skip over the rules section and plunge straight into the adventure. Their characters, equipment, and experience must be carried over from the previous adventure. Okay. All of this is pretty much the same as the previous book, and because I'm not starting a new adventure, we're carrying on with the previous one. There's no point in reading this, so you'll probably be pleased to hear that I'm not going to be reading this again. However, if you do want to listen to me read this, it's in part 1 of the Shamutanti Hills. Okay, here's the adventure sheet, which hasn't been written on. That's nice. Although it's not a copy of my copy of the book. It isn't a scan of my copy, but it's always nice to see it hasn't been written in anyway. Anyway, this is the same as well, so I won't read this. I won't read this either because we've already read that. Here's the map, which is I'm pretty sure it's the same as the map from the previous one. Anyway, and here's paragraph 1. Brilliant. Here we go. Okay, Kharé, the city of chaos and gateway to the Backlands. Below you, at the foot of the Shamutanti Hills, sprawls the walled city port, slashed viciously by the great Jabaji River. Halfway down the hills, you pause to survey your destination. Legend has it that Kharé arose around the only ford across the Jabaji between Lake Lumley and the sea. I'm just going to zoom in a bit. It's difficult to read this. It's a bit small. Okay, but this is an unlikely tale. More probable are the stories of river pirates camping in the area, waiting to ambush the small sailing vessels which carried their cargoes of fish between Lake Lumley and the Kakhabad Sea. Whatever the reasons, Kharé grew. As the camp became a village and the village a city, Kharé became a magnet for the ne'er-do-wells of the Backlands and the Shamutantis. A multitude of malevolent creatures who would kill you for the laces from your boots drifted into the city. Their lawlessness gave rise to an elaborate system of traps devised by the inhabitants to protect themselves from the criminals who roamed the streets. This is how the city got its name, Cityport of Traps. Okay, there's the picture. Your own goal lies well beyond Kharé, which, knowing only its reputation, you would prefer not to pass through. But pass through you must, for elsewhere crossing the Jabaji is impossible. From your vantage point, you can trace the fortified wall which surrounds the city port. 2 gates open Kharé to the rest of the world. Before you is the south gate, your only way in, and on the far side of the city is the north gate leading onto the backlands. Time is passing and time is precious. You stride off downhill at a brisk pace and reach the gate within the hour. It is locked. If you have a large key presented to you by the Svin chief, you may turn to the reference given when you receive this gift. If you do not have the key, you may either knock loudly for the guards, 10 to 178, or cast a spell. Bam, 337, Big, 496, Huff, 408, Dop, 381, Hot, 474. Okay, we were given a large key, and it's stated in the text that we turn to paragraph 12. So we're turning to paragraph 12 now. Taking the key from your pack, you carefully insert it into the lock. One by one, the tumblers click. The door gives a little, and you ease it open, peering cautiously inside. There is no one about. You slip quickly inside and close the gate behind you. Damn, you have left the key in the lock outside. Cross this off your adventure sheet. Okay, so I'll just put used. You tiptoe into the archway which covers the gate and hide in an alcove. There is no sound, and you decide to venture out into the open. Your first cover is a building just inside the wall, and you nip over to it. It is made of stone and the windows are barred. Looking inside, you can see that the room is bare apart from a wooden bench on which an old man is sitting. Will you enter the building and greet the man, 10 to 169, or leave and continue onwards, turn to 218? Okay, we're going to greet the man and enter the building and turn to 169. You try the door to the building. It is locked, but the key is in the lock. You turn the key and open the door, stepping inside. But as you do so, the door slams shut behind you and the key turns. You are a prisoner. Turn to 254. 254. Here we are. You are in a stone hut with barred windows. A bench against one wall is the only piece of furniture in the room, and on this bench sits an old man. Dressed in dirty robes, he stands and greets you, holding out his right hand. You realise that this is his only hand, as his left sleeve hangs limply by his side. And what brings you to this wicked place, he asks. You tell him you are heading out of the city, and he nods. Then I take it, stranger, that you are a sorcerer. Indeed, this was my profession before fate, with a little help from an ogre in the Shanka mines, put an end to my ambitions and my career. He indicates his missing limb. Only a sorcerer would know the spell to pass through the north gate. You look a little puzzled. You know the spell, do you not? He asks. When you still look puzzled, his eyes widen and he shakes his head. Then I'd better explain. He goes on to tell you that the north gate is wizard locked to protect the city from backland raiders. The magical lock opens only when a particular magical incantation is recited before it. Only the first noble of Kharé knows the spell in its entirety, although its 4 lines are known, one each, by 4 leading citizens. Yeah, that's a typo. This prevents each one from opening the gate alone, which ensures the security of Kharé. You ask him about these leading citizens, but he knows little of them. He has heard, however, that one is a scholar. You ask him also about this building, and he reassured you. Guards will return in a day or so to release you once they have verified you are not an enemy of the Cityport. Will you now wait for their return, turn to 260, or cast a spell to free yourself? Zap, 371, Pop, 504, Fix, 486, Stop, 432, or fill, turn to 344. Okay, there's the picture. Okay, let's just make a note that a scholar knows one of the lines of the exit spell. Whoops, there we go. Okay, and we are going to cast the spell Stop and turn to 432. Deduct 2 stamina points. Let's do that now. Puts me down to 20. You cast your spell at the door and can hear the tumblers in the lock clicking. Giving the door a push, it swings open and you can escape. The old man leaves with you, thanks you for helping him escape, and hurries off down the road ahead of you. You soon reach a junction. Turn to 81. Okay, let's turn to 81. You reach the junction ahead. This offers you 3 ways on. You are on the outskirts of the city and huts are grouped loosely about the tracks leading into the city port. To the left, a group of scruffy youngsters are walking away up the roadway with packs on their backs. Ahead, the road leads straight into the centre of Kharé and would appear to be the main road. To the right, you see the old man disappearing into a hut on the left-hand side of the track. Which direction will you choose? Turn left, turn to 23, continue straight ahead, turn to 138, or turn right, turn to 292. Okay, we're going to turn left and turn to 23. You follow the children up the road. Homes and hovels line the track, and you are wary as you pass. Strange faces appear at the windows watching you. From around the bend ahead, a troop of guards appears. Thinking swiftly, you dart into a hut by the roadside and close the door. The guards march past, and you breathe a sigh of relief. But where are you? You look around the dismal hut and jump as you see 3 ugly faces gawping at you. The room is untidy and contains little more than a straw mattress and a low table. The 3 creatures, a group of black elves, are staring vacantly at you. A heavy, sweet smell hits your nostrils and explains their lethargy. They are puffing at a hookah containing smoking weed. One of them gathers himself together enough to talk to you and asks you to join them. What will you do? Sit down with them and draw on the hookah, turn to 150. Apologise for disturbing them and leave, turn to 213. See if you can learn any information from them, turn to 242. Or draw your weapon and challenge them, turn to 58. There they are. Okay, we're going to apologise for disturbing them and leave and turn to 213. You leave the hut. The guards have disappeared down the road and you may continue. A little way up, you pass a small pond. As you look into it, a small silver fish darts out from behind a stone and looks up at you. Bubbles come from its mouth. It appears to be speaking to you. It is hovering over a gold piece which presumably someone has tossed into the pond. Will you bend down closer to find out whether it is speaking to you? Turn to 320. Snatch the gold piece, turn to 85. Or continue on your way, turn to continue on your way, turn to 28, or cast a spell. How? 456, Mud 351, Law 375, Mag 470, or Dud 338. Okay, we're going to continue on our way and turn to 28. Further up the road, you reach a fork where you may continue either straight ahead or up to the left. A hut stands in the fork and a stallion is tied up outside it. You may take the track up to the left, turn to 300, continue ahead, turn to 233, or you may walk over to the horse, turn to 183. Okay, we are going to continue ahead and turn to 233. As you press on up the road, you notice that the huts are becoming smaller. The roadway bustles with dwarves and other small fellows. It seems from the contemptuous looks you receive as you pass that they are not kindly disposed towards man-sized outsiders. You may stop at the general store in the centre of this area, turn to 149, or you may continue onwards, turn to 153. A little further up the street, you notice a small crowd gathering round a scuffle between two creatures. If you wish to see what is going on, turn to 98. Okay, we're going to stop at the general store in the centre of this area and turn to 149. Here we are. The general store offers various items for sale. The following seem of interest to you, and you may buy any you wish. A selection of gauntlets, 5 gold pieces each. A bottle labelled Potion of Mystery, 2 gold pieces. Provisions, 3 gold pieces per meal. A honeycomb of beeswax, 2 gold pieces. A small vial filled with dust, 3 gold pieces. Decide which you wish to buy and turn to 199. If you don't want any of them, you may continue by turning to 170. Okay, we're going to buy a pair of gauntlets, the honeycomb of beeswax, and the vial of dust. So gauntlets is 5. That's 2 for the beeswax and 3 for the dust. That's 10 gold pieces in total. So we're spending 10 gold pieces, puts us down to 22 again. But we also have gauntlets. So a pair of gauntlets. Honeycomb of beeswax and the vial of dust. Okay. So we're turning to 199 because we bought something. So let's go there now. If you bought the provisions, you may put these in your pack to eat later. The honeycomb of beeswax is just that. There is a fair amount of wax in the honeycomb. Should you use it in spells, you will have enough for the rest of your quest. If you bought any of the gauntlets, turn to 210. If not, turn to 272. Okay, let's just make a note that the beeswax will last till the rest of our adventure. You know what annoys me? When people spell till apostrophe TIL, or even worse, TIL. Okay, so yes, I know that apostrophe TIL is strictly correct because it's an abbreviation of until, but until to till is the same as unto is to. No one says anymore, oh, I'm going unto the shop, or I'm talking unto him. You just say I'm talking to him. So therefore I maintain that saying until is also redundant, because till, T-I-L-L, although it means something that you have in a shop that in which you put money, till also means until, and it's a shorter word, and it's a shorter word with only has one syllable. So that's how you spell till. It's similar to people saying whilst instead of while. They mean the same thing, except when it's used as a noun, and while is, I will see you in a while. You don't say I will see you in a whilst, or saying amongst instead of among, that's also redundant, and saying amidst instead of amid. There is no point in saying amongst. It means among, so you might as well just say among. So that's my thoughts on the word till. So it's annoying when I see TIL or apostrophe TIL, because that's redundant. I know apostrophe TIL is strictly correct because it's an abbreviation of until, but it's redundant, which makes it annoying. Anyway, thanks for listening. So, we're now starting a new line on that, but we're now turning to 210 because we bought some gauntlets, so 210. And in fact, I shouldn't really put till, it should just be 4. So that whole little little thing I said was also redundant because I should have said 4. I should have typed 4 rather. Anyway, the merchant was offering chainmail or leather gauntlets. Which did you buy? Chainmail turned to 228 or leather turned to 238. We bought leather and we're turning to 238. You have bought yourself a gauntlet of weaponry which is blessed with the magical power to help its owner in times of need. While you are wearing this gauntlet during a fight, it will aid you, but only if your stamina has dropped below 5 points. If you are in a battle and your stamina is below 5, you may choose to re-roll one of your attack strength dice again. I.e., if you roll a 5 and a 1, you may re-roll the 1. Make a note of this. Did you also buy the Vial of Dust? If so, turn to 247. If not, turn to 259. Okay, so we have leather gauntlets. I'll just put leather. Parentheses, if our stamina is it below 5 or 5? Yeah, below 5. Is below 5. If our stamina is below 5, we can re-roll only one attack strength die if we wish. End parentheses. There we go. Okay, so that's quite nice. And we also bought a Vial of Dust, so we're turning to 247. Now, the dust inside the vial is not in fact dust, but grains of sand. You may replace the stopper and take this vial with you. Turn to 259. Okay, so this is really sand. Okay, fantastic. So we're turning to 259 now. Let's go there now. Did you buy the Potion of Mystery? If so, you may swallow the liquid, turn to 281. If you did not buy it, turn to 170. We did not buy it, so we're turning to 170. Will you now leave the area, following the road ahead, turn to 153, or go and join the crowd watching the street fight, turn to 185. Okay, we're going to leave the area, following the road ahead, and turn to 153. You leave the dwarf village and continue. A little further on, you come across a solitary thatched hut. A statue outside catches your eye. It depicts a man of sorts with rather long, spindly limbs. Its arms and hands are held together before it, as if it were meant to be praying. Although this in itself is odd, your attention is more taken with a gold locket which hangs around its neck. This looks too precious an artifact to be left hanging on an unprotected statue. It may be very valuable, possibly even magical. Will you take a closer look at the statue? Turn to 8. Enter the hut behind the statue. Turn to 27. Or ignore this temptation and continue. Turn to 137. Or cast a spell. Mag 482. Far 413, Gob 359, Foff 429, or Sass 472. And there is the statue. We're going to enter the hut behind the statue and turn to 27. Inside the hut, bones litter the floor. Whoever or whatever lives here is evidently carnivorous. Judging by the size of some of the bones, this creature seems to be quite partial to humans. As the hut is otherwise deserted, you search through the rubble. The unfortunate victim's clothes are strewn about, and in the pockets you find 15 gold pieces. You also find a number of knuckle bones which have been strung together into a bracelet. You may take this and the gold pieces with you. Cautiously, you leave the hut after first making sure that no one is about. 10 to 37. Okay, so we have a bone bracelet and 15 gold pieces. So bone bracelets. And 15 gold pieces, that puts us up to 37. There we go. Turn to 37. As you leave the hut, you glance once more at the statue. Although you are not sure, you have the feeling that something has changed. Then it dawns on you that something has changed. Its head has moved round and is now pointing towards you. Will you run swiftly away, turn to 55, draw your weapon, turn to 76, or cast a spell? How, 492, Tell, 401, Fix, 394, Law, 461, or Rock, 348. Okay, we're going to cast a spell, and we're going to cast Law, 461. Deduct 4 stamina points. Puts me down to 16. You cast this spell at the statue and will it to move. You have guessed correctly. It is indeed a living creature, and under your command it steps towards you. You order it to hand you the locket from around its neck, then step back and resume its pose. It follows your instructions. Turn to 117. Okay, so we have the locket, so golden locket. Turn to 117. You take the golden locket from the creature. The locket itself is worth around 8 gold pieces. You may use it to pay for anything worth up to 8 gold pieces in value, but you will not receive change. Inside the locket is a small glowing sun jewel, which burns brightly with a light of its own. Stow this away in your backpack, add 1 luck point for surviving the encounter, and continue your journey by turning to 137. Okay, okay, so I'll just say the golden locket is worth 8 gold pieces. And we also have a sun jewel. Now, I can't remember if at the end of the last part whether the luck, all my luck was increased to 12 or whether just the initial luck. Regardless, that extra luck point puts us up to 12 luck anyway. So my luck is now definitely at 12. Anyway, we're now turning to 137. You continue along the road until you reach a Y junction where you carry on northwards. Turn to 191. You reach a junction where several roads converge. You may continue ahead, turn to 297, or turn to the right, turn to 84. Okay, we're going to turn to the right and turn to 84. You soon arrive at another crossroads where you may either turn left, turn to 57, or carry straight on, turn to 322. Okay, we're going to carry straight on and turn to 322. You follow the road to another junction. You can hear the voices of a crowd off to the left, and you turn in this direction towards a bend in the road. Turn to 244. And that is where we end part 1. So thank you very much for watching. So we're on paragraph 244. And in the next part, we'll be carrying on the adventure of Kharé, Cityport of Traps. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you're enjoying the whole adventure. And hope you can join me for next time. See you later.